Welcome to the Knitter's Gotta Knit podcast.
I'm Darlene, who am
Bags
I?
Boss.
Bags by Awesome Granny on Instagram and Etsy, and Awesome Granny and Ravelry. And
I'm Carrie on Instagram. I'm Knitfomaniac on Ravelry. I'm a Knitfomaniac.
and y'all all know Peyton because y'all have seen Peyton a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Peyton had to go to school, so we had to call in the B team, which is
I'm okay with that.
This is my daughter Shyla.
So Shyla,
Hi.
And y'all have heard me talk about her so much, and she's on for a couple of reasons. One is she's, wanted to come hang out with us, but two, she's opened an Etsy shop, so Carrie and I wanted her to promote her shop today.
we do.
So
we do.
she brought some things with her, and we have a giveaway in combination with her, and she'll be showing some of her stuff a little bit later. But welcome, Shyla.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for driving.
We're excited.
60
She drove
miles.
forever
She-
to be here.
So we are 20 miles. I'm 20 miles from work, and you're what, 35 miles farther than me?
Oh, it's not.
So
Maybe? I don't know. It's an hour drive to here.
so it's a drive.
I'm 3.49 miles from work.
So
It's okay. I almost passed your work again because I thought I was going to pass your work.
so I was so frustrated earlier. I mean, frustrated because
I think she might still be a little frustrated.
So I'm going to get the rant out of the way.
Feel the passion.
Going to get the rant out of the way. We have a parking garage that's an employee parking garage. It's a 7-story parking garage that probably has
I'm looking at it. It's
2,000 spots or
too
more.
big.
It's huge. And we have a visitor parking garage in front of the building.
Parking lot, not garage.
Yeah,
but
I'm
parking
sorry.
lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
parking garage that's for visitors,
It is for visitors.
not for employees.
It is not for employees.
Shyla drove around and around, and there's what, 200 spots out
and
there.
heaven help you if Darlene knows what you drive.
And I do
No.
know what some of
Oh,
so. So there's what, 200 spots out front.
I don't know,
maybe
probably even more.
200 or 300?
Yeah.
Shyla had to drive around and around to find a spot because of all the dang employees
That park
That-
the visitors.
that parked in the visitor. And I recognize some of those vehicles.
And they're
and-
gonna. I feel sorry for them when she finds
And
it.
in fact, I was going to go see this one guy a while ago. He's on our floor. He sits like 2 aisles from me.
Carrie, I had to hide at her
And
desk.
Shyla said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to
Shyla's
talk to
hiding.
Roger because I know Roger's white pickup is that one that you parked in front of, and I'm going to go tell him to go move his pickup to park in the garage where he's supposed to park." And he wasn't at his desk. Shyla was like
Heaven help her.
hiding at my desk, like under my desk, putting on makeup, pretending like she was invisible.
I'll tell you what. I don't picture Shyla hiding from anybody. To be quite honest, I guess maybe her mom is the only
Have you
exception.
seen my mama's Hobby Lobby fits? This is not
No.
good.
Yeah, I was a little. I can get a little bit up.
She can.
Yeah.
She can.
So so I sent my boss a message, and I told Brenda. I said, "Brenda, I got to read it." I said, "Is Harvey at lunch with you?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "I am so furious. Shyla had to drive around and around the visitors' parking to find a spot because of all the damn employees parking in the front. So I'm being a tattletale. Tell Harvey." And she said, "Wow, I'm not surprised." And so she's going to tell Harvey.
Okay.
And I'll be visiting Harvey after lunch too.
And Roger.
Lucky
And Roger.
Harvey and Lucky Roger.
And Bala. I saw Bala walking around out front. And I saw several.
There are quite a few
So-
people that I've seen come in the building from the front. And while I'd like to judge each and every one of them, every once in a while I have seen somebody whose significant other or child or whatever took them to lunch and then dropped them off in the front. And I don't want to yell at them when they were actually being dropped off. I didn't see them.
Chances are they're parked out there.
Chances are that
So,
I don't have the same kind of pull around here that Darlene has, so I'm just kind of keeping my shut.
and I told Justin, the real nice
I love
security
that
guard.
Security guard.
Told him, I
love
said, "I'll be talking to Harvey." And that other guy that's sitting right there with him, he was like just not saying a word. And Justin said, "That's what we need is somebody to talk to Harvey." And I said, "Oh, it'll happen today."
2 days.
So,
He's known all of us long enough. He should know it will happen.
mhm.
Mhm.
But anyway, enough about that.
Enough about working.
So I got to tell a funny story.
Okay, I love her funny stories.
So Shyla, even though we know that she's not a knitter, that she's my biggest disappointment. Okay, two funny stories. On the last podcast, whenever I said Shyla was my biggest disappointment, Shyla said Peyton heard that, and she was like, got this horrified look on her face, like, and she told Shyla, I can't believe Granny said that. And Shyla said, I knew what was coming next. She said, I told Shyla, just listen. But, so anyway, to my other funny story. Shyla is, for you and I have been Audible listeners for years. We love Audible. Okay.
I love Audible.
And I've been trying to get this one and her brother to listen to Audible for a few years.
All right, in our defense, we love to read.
They do. They love to read. I used to love to read too, until this
And
one
you know
got me
what?
to knitting.
Yeah.
But so I told Shyla, I said, Shyla, because Shyla was telling me one day, I really miss reading. And I said, I know you miss reading, and I know that you really love to hold your Kindle. I said, but if you don't have time to read, just try it. And if you don't like it, you're not going to hurt my feelings, but I have 10 million books. Just try it. And so she's been an Audible junkie for a while, and we've listened, and we like to listen to the same things. So her, Casey, and I, we'll listen to the same things, and we'll talk about it. And Casey is now on the Audible train also.
Mm-hmm.
But Shyla was looking for a new book to listen to last week, and I told her, I said, my favorite book series ever, and it's my go-to if I can't find anything to listen to, I will download the Blossom Street series by David McComber and re-listen to it. And I have listened to it a bunch, all except book 6, because I can't stand Delilah, and she's the narrator of that one. I've only listened to it once. But anyway, Shyla, on book 1 of the series, her and Peyton was listening to it, and Shyla said, I'm so glad that I pay attention to you and Carrie because of all y'all's knitting terms and all this stuff. Well, somebody in the book said a knitting word, and Peyton told Shyla, said, what? That's a real word? That's a real word? Said, I thought Carrie and Mama made that word up.
When Darlene told me that story, I said, oh my gosh, I love that kid.
She thought that we invented knitting.
She does. She thinks we invented knitting, and I love her for it because, she thinks that we're the greatest.
I really am, though. I'm glad I've watched those podcasts enough that I understand what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah,
because I don't like not understanding what's going on in the book. So I'd be calling Mama, what does this mean?
Yeah.
What does this
But
mean?
Shyla said she knew when Lydia was talking about worsted weight yarn and fingering weight yarn and stuff, and the different tools they use. She actually knew what was being talked about. So
I think that's great.
I think it's awesome. So even though she's not a knitter, she does know some of the lingo.
That 100% worsted weight wool sweater just too hot for you?
No, it's itchy.
It's
Oh,
that
it is.
line brand,
It is. It's line brand. It's a touch itchy.
But
I get a little hot sometimes when I'm wearing this one. It's like, I'm going to take this off because I'm hot, and then I start to get cold.
I know.
Put it back on
Me
because I'm
too.
cold, because this building can't regulate itself for nothing.
so I have this really pretty gray sweater at my desk, and I mean it's kind of pretty.
It is. It's a very pretty
And,
sweater.
All
She did make
of
it.
my
It's
friends
a
were
very
like,
pretty sweater.
wow, well, did you make that sweater? I'm like, yeah, me and Walmart, $16.95.
Yes. Me and
So,
Walmart, we work good together.
but so how was Antonio's birthday party?
Antonio had a great birthday party. He had a fabulous birthday party. I have a ton of pictures to insert. So Paige had his party at a place called Urban Air. I think it's new. I don't know how new it is. It's a trampoline park, yeah. And it's not just trampolines. They have trampolines, and then they have this one section where it's caged off trampolines, and then they have a trampoline divided into triangles, 8 or 10 triangles, and then only one child per triangle can be in there. And there's a employee manning it, and he runs a timer for 180 seconds or something. I don't know how long it goes. And but they also have in the middle is this spinning thing, and then they have these sticks coming out of it, and one's real low and one's real high, and they're soft. They're like styrofoam. So the thing's spinning around, and then the kids have to either duck under the tall one, or then they can jump over, the low one or whatever. Some of Bizzle fell on one of them. It's kind of funny. But Celeste fell on a couple too. So so they had a lot of fun. And then they had this big section of just all these balls. They're all clear balls. And it's like like a ball pin, like where you go and like you fall in the balls. Remember I guess they
The
used
ball
to,
pits.
yeah, the ball pits.
Uh-huh.
But they have like a whole like jungle gym above it, so you can like try and go across the the little bars or what the little like American Ninja, where you're doing like an obstacle course or whatever. And of course, if you don't make it, then you just like fall into balls.
And see, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know that would probably gross you out.
I would
so
never let
much.
my kids in that ball pit.
Oh my God,
ever.
they had so much fun.
It would never happen.
So everybody was in that.
Scary. You saw the look on my face.
I
every
know.
time I mentioned it.
I take Antonio to McDonald's and she's like, I
Oh,
would never let my
God.
grandkids play in that thing. And
No.
I'm like, oh no, just germ them up.
But
No,
Get
my-
germs everywhere.
My poor kids were so tortured because they were never allowed to play in those things ever. They've been to Chuck E. Cheese like 3 times in their lives, and I didn't go. 'Cause,
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. And so there's this one part. So it's like an entrance and an exit, and you can go either way. I mean, there's no way that says you have to go a certain way. But there's this one point in time where Paige and Celeste were going to be going down this thing together, and they were going to race. So they were like walking on like this rope thing and holding on, and then they had to go across to that thing where you like jump back and forth. Usually at the very beginning of American Ninja, where you're jumping back and forth. And Celeste was beating Paige. So in like the last half second, Paige goes, bounce, bounce, and then she bounces right in front of Celeste and pushes her into the balls. They were laughing so hard. They had
That's
so
funny.
much fun. And Yvette was there, and when Paige saw Yvette, she goes, hey, what are you doing? She goes, I saw you push my daughter. And of course she was kidding,
Yvette's her
but
niece.
Uh-huh.
Is-
is Celeste's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Celeste is
Mhm.
Paige's niece, Carrie's
Paige's
granddaughter.
niece, my granddaughter. So anyway, they had a great time, and then there's this one part. I don't think anybody went on it, but it's at the very beginning when you walk in, and you get in line, and you go up, and it's like the highest part of the building, and they strap you in like you're gonna go mount like rock climbing. They strap you in and all this stuff, and then they carabiner you onto this thing, and it goes like all the way like around in circles. So there's like a track up on the ceiling, and it's just taking the person around. They're like going out, and I don't think anybody was brave enough to do that, but it looked like
It sounds cool.
So,
Well, I know Carrie. You know how I am about germs. She's like so not. And I remember one time when we were in the other building, our admin, she used to keep like pretzel, these big.
She still does.
These big things of pretzels, and people go there.
Oh no!
And I told Carrie, I said, I would never eat anything out of that. And she was like, why? And I was like, because people go and they just put their hand, they like stick their hand in there and get a handful, and I would never eat. I would starve before I ate anything out of any of those containers at the admin's
I
desk.
think I'm just a ding dong because I just don't think that far. I'm just like, oh, pretzel.
Oh
Okay.
no! Like I don't eat birthday cake because
Oh, me neither.
Kids spit whenever they,
Yeah.
they blow out candles. That's just gross.
It's like, I'm not gonna. If you're blowing out a candle on that cake, I'm not eating none of it.
I missed Antonio singing Happy Birthday. I don't remember what I was doing. I was getting one of the kids, or I was doing something with one of the other grandkids. And I came back in the room, and of course, I missed him blowing it out. Hopefully, Paige got some pictures. But this one guy came to me. It was one of Antonio's friends' fathers. And he came by and he goes, I wanted to let you know that Antonio, whenever they were cutting the cake, Antonio looked at the lady cutting the cake and said, you need to save a piece of cake for me.
Oh, that was nice. That's
So I
nice.
thought that was super sweet. Like, you better make sure
That
that there's
was
a piece
nice.
left for my grandma.
That was real nice. I know when the kids were little, like Bruce, he would always let the kids drink after him. Like if he was drinking a glass of tea, he would let the kids have a drink of their tea.
Mhm.
Not me. I'm like, those little backwashers are not drinking out of my
Oh
cup.
no! Up until
So-
Peyton passed this, up until Peyton passed the slobbering age, if she took a drink out of my drink, it was hers.
I think
And
Shiloh.
then now Trenton's no longer allowed to drink after me because he has girlfriends and
Yeah.
you know.
mhm. So, but yeah, Shiloh, I finally let her start drinking after me when she came like 30.
I'll drink after
I was a
anybody,
little
and
younger
anybody
than
can
that,
drink.
but
I would Bruce, he would like let the kid drink. I'm like, that's disgusting. I am not drinking after those little nasty kids.
yeah,
They were my own kids. I ain't drinking after them.
Peyton makes fun of me for it. I mean, even as often as this weekend, her little friend Peyton was at the house, and they wanted to go play somewhere, and my Peyton, she was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And Peyton was like, why? She was like, Mama says those places are disgusting, and she will not let us go in them. We have to do that with my dad. And I was like,
I'm this. I mean, you
What
kind
the-
you come by it honestly
They
because
do.
I didn't ever let y'all do that kind of stuff. It's like, no, you are not. You think you're gonna crawl in that thing at at McDonald's? No, you are not.
My grandkids love them.
I'm sure mine would have too.
I'm sure.
But-
But okay, but in our defense, Daddy had a friend that it was his job to take those things apart. And after the horror stories that you hear from the people that dismantle those things as to what they have found in them,
Yeah,
you'd never
sure.
let Antonio go in them either.
No, I just
Mhm.
yeah.
Probably.
So anyway, but I'm glad he had a fantastic time.
He did. He had a great birthday.
And
He
I
had a
can't
great
believe
birthday.
he's 7. And I
I
always
can't believe he's
I always
7.
know how long I've been knitting because I started knitting right in November. I mean, because I went to see you in your office and I barged in and said, "Hey, I'm Darlene. Teach me to knit."
I think that's
I mean,
exactly what she said.
I think
I think
so.
she said, "Hey, I'm Darlene. Hey, you don't know me.
Uh-huh.
I'm Darlene. Teach me to knit."
No, that
That's-
sounds like you.
That's pretty much the way it was.
Yeah.
And then Carrie, just shortly after, I mean, like we had knit together a few times at her desk, and then Paige had Antonio, and then she worked half days for a while, and then I was like left all alone by myself because she, had to be out, but so I always know how long I've been knitting because of how old Antonio is, because we have the same, my knitting birthday and his birthday is
Mhm.
this like within 2
And
weeks.
I learned how to knit after Celeste was born. So after Celeste was born, and she's going to be 10 next month, I said to myself, I'm a grandmother now. I need to do something
Grandmotherly.
grandmotherly. So I went to Walmart and I got a crochet book and some yarn. And then a lady that was renting my house at the time, her mother had made me a scarf that Christmas. And it was knitted. And I said, and I found out her mother was coming to town the following March. And I said, "Do you think your mom will teach me how to knit? I want to make that exact scarf in a blanket." And it was just a basket weave pattern. Knit 3, purl 3, knit 3, purl 3, little boxes or whatever. And that's the first thing I ever made. So I learned to knit the March after Celeste was born. So I'll hit 10 years next year in March.
That's awesome. I remember whenever I barged into Carrie's office, which I literally did. I mean,
She literally. Mhm.
Carrie got up she went home that afternoon,
Right then and there.
and she
Did I mention I
and-
live 3.49 miles
she
from my
came back. So that was I did that in the morning, and then she went home, and at lunch I went back to her desk, and she had all this yarn and all these needles, and she was like,
everything.
"What do you want to do? Pick something." And I'm like, completely overwhelmed. And I told her, I said, "You pick what I'm going to do," because I had no idea. I mean, it's like, it was all completely foreign. I had no clue. So, and it was funny because when I bought she gave me a bunch of yarn, and she gave me needles and all this stuff. And I remember Bruce saying, "She's like a drug dealer."
That first hit
She
is
gives
always
you that
free.
that first hit free. So it was pretty funny.
It was.
but-
It still is.
So I got to tell y'all about a conversation that I had with Kagan. Me and Kagan they were here this weekend, and her and I spent the day together. We went to lunch and went shopping, did some shopping, and then took her to the doctor, to the CVS Minute Clinic that took 3 hours, however many minutes that is, like 300 or something. It was crazy. But anyway, we were talking about that she went on her trip to the UK last year for school, and it was such a disappointment. And she said, "I feel so bad that it was sucked because everybody spent so much money." And I told her, I said, "You can't help it if the trip sucked.
Right.
I mean, it was a school trip." I said, "You can't help that it sucked." So she said, "This is what she wants to do, and this involves y'all."
Oh no! What?
She said, "When I graduate high school," she said, "I would love to go to Edinburgh, Scotland." And, she said, "We need to go during the Edinburgh Fiber Festival, and we need Aunt Shyla and Carrie to go with us so that you and Carrie can go do y'all's Fiber Festival stuff, and me and Aunt Shyla can go do everything else that's fun."
I love that kid.
And but she said that she wanted to like go hiking and like go do all this stuff, and but she don't want me to just go with her because I'm no fun apparently.
Apparently not.
But I mean, she does know that the issues I have with my foot and walking and around and stuff. So she was like, Carrie could go and y'all could do your fiber stuff. Y'all could go to the festival, and me and Aunt Shala will go do all the fun stuff.
I'm in. Just don't drive me to the Fiber Festival. You would be proud of me though. I saw it at a yarn store the other day, down in Port Aransas.
They have a yarn store in Port Aransas.
And you didn't stop?
I did. Thank you very much. I went in and I looked around and realized I didn't know crap about yarn because I was going to see if there was anything cool that you needed.
Well,
and
thank you.
I left.
So I did tell Kagan that I would do some checking to see what a trip like that would cost.
A lot.
It probably would be a lot, but but it would be so much fun. So I don't know what you did to your ring, but
I don't either. But
you shouldn't be doing woodworking and
oblong.
Look.
And look, there's a crack in the bottom of it. Like, I don't know.
But yeah, so apparently you would be fun, and me and Carrie would be just to keep me out of y'all's hair. I'm thinking.
No.
Hey,
I think it's
I'm
more,
down for that.
I think it's more so that Kagan didn't get drugged to the yarn festival too.
Oh, she even told me. She said, "I'll even go to the yarn festival."
Wow, I'm impressed.
I know. But she loves Scotland. She wants to go back to Scotland.
I want to go to Scotland.
Well, Peyton had she played volleyball this year.
Yes.
And
she's done.
She is done. And I'll send you. Look at my pictures, Charlotte, and there should be some pictures. Send those 3 pictures to Carrie. That Bruce and I, our shop, her Bags Boss and Granny sponsored her team, and it was cool. So they had little shirts with our name on it.
That is pretty cool.
And they did so good. I mean, their first game they played terrible, but they all played terrible. I mean, there was 6 teams, and all 6 teams played terrible. And it took 6 weeks, and they improved so much. But more than that, she had so much fun.
I think that's so cool.
I do too. She had a ball. And Trenton got braces, and he feels terrible.
Mm-hmm. Poor kid.
So
I'm actually really glad that Mom and Daddy never got me braces after watching him, because the poor kid can't eat.
It's pretty painful. It's pretty painful.
It's pretty amazing how much his teeth have already shifted, and he's only had them on like a week.
Wow. But I feel bad for him though, because you can just tell by looking at him that he just don't feel good.
I bet. And I bet you they end up like losing some weight or whatever, because they can't eat. They can just get like liquids and yogurt and pudding and all that stuff.
Well, me and Mama made enchiladas on Saturday night, and then on Sunday night I made chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes and gravy and all of that stuff, because that's what Tim wanted for his birthday supper. And Trenton,
is it his birthday?
Last week.
Oh.
And Trenton, he was like, seriously, he's like, I can't eat anything, and you and Granny make the 2 meals that I really like. I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I've been asking for enchiladas since March.
That's funny. I don't know why we don't make them more, because they're not that.
I hate making them.
I know, but since we don't roll them anymore and we just stack them, they're so much easier to make.
They are. That's true.
And Brinley, about 3 weeks ago, she had a bad motorcycle wreck.
Oh yeah,
It was.
She sent some pictures.
It was bad.
I'll have some pictures to insert.
But she's fine. Her motorcycle is not fine. It's still in the shop.
It's still in the shop.
It is.
Wow.
They had to it bent the top something or another, and they had to remachine. They've had to send the top half of it back to the machine shop twice, and
wow.
So it really messed it up. But thank goodness she was okay, because it was a heart-stopping wreck.
And then she
was so
raced this
funny.
past weekend, and Darlene was super nervous. I think you thought because it's her first time racing again since the big wreck.
No, it's my first time that I saw her race since the big
Okay.
wreck. She's raced a couple of times since then, but it was I'm normally not I mean, I'm always a little nervous, but not like Sunday. I mean, she was in one moto, and I literally told Bruce, I said, I can't watch, and I got out of the stand and I left.
Wow.
I mean, I just had the worst feeling that something terrible was going to happen.
See, I'm glad I wasn't there because you get those feelings when something does happen, whether it's with us or not. It would have made me nervous
Really.
Sure.
because Mama gets those feelings and there's always something to it.
Yeah.
So, and there was a really, really serious wreck. It wasn't in Peyton's or Brinley's group, but it was in another group. But it was a really serious wreck that involved 3 kids. But I was really glad when Sunday was over because
I bet.
I was like a nervous wreck the entire day. So.
But Brinley was so cute. I was telling her the other day that I was proud of her for, getting herself off of the track after
Mhm.
that wreck.
Mhm.
And she told me, she was like, I wanted to lay there and die. She was like, and then I heard the big boys coming on their bikes and thought, I don't want to die. She was like, so she got herself off the track. So.
I was proud of her because Casey has drilled it into her. If you have a wreck, you don't worry about your bike. If it's a bad wreck, if you have a bad wreck, don't worry about your bike. You get off the track.
Mhm.
Casey's like, I don't care if you have to pull your broken body off of the track. You get off that track.
Get off the track before it's more broken.
Yeah, and she did. She hit the ground and she got up and got off the track, and she was banged up pretty good. But she's okay. Thank goodness for good equipment.
Yeah.
So,
Me and Tim were driving down the street the other day, and Tim hit a deer in the truck.
oh, he did.
My truck's fine.
Okay, good.
But he afterwards he was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why? He was like, well, I didn't want to swerve. And I looked at him and was like, Tim, you don't swerve for anything but a kid. And he looked at me, he was like, wow, that was a very automatic response. and I had to tell him about, Daddy telling me my whole life, you don't swerve for anything but a kid. And then anytime something like that happens, Daddy's voice pops into my head. And so I'm sure Brinley could hear Casey, get off that track.
Probably.
Sure.
Probably so. But speaking of deer, hunting season starts this coming weekend. So we really won't see you and Tim for
No, he won't.
for a
You
while.
have any extra meat or, some that fell on the floor and I just have to wash it off or
Carrie's out of deer
wait
meat.
into a ball pit?
You're out of deer meat? Like
My-
completely?
Yeah.
My housekeeper unplugged my freezer.
Oh, okay. Well, do you like ground deer meat?
I like all deer meat.
I mean, if you get her one, she'll take it and have it
No,
processed.
that's fine.
herself.
But I have a full freezer of ground deer meat.
Oh,
all deer
And
meat.
we're starting deer season, and my freezer is still full from last year. So I can give you a whole bunch.
All right.
and if y'all get an extra deer you don't know what to do with, Carrie will
Done and
Right,
done.
have
Because
it
Peyton's
processed.
decided that she's going to hunt this year.
really.
too.
I mean, all serious. I was gonna actually talk to you about it see if y'all could get Carrie a deer.
Tommy
Yeah,
got
no problem.
off the lease this year. So, the boys hadn't been going as much and he's, started his new job and, it's an expensive lease. And if the boys weren't going to be going, he decided to get off the lease this year. Now he has a couple of friends. He has one friend, Renee, who's got some property, I think around Alice or something, but their deer season doesn't start for 2 more weeks because it's further south.
Mhm.
So they have 2 more weeks. I think he might be going there this Thursday and Friday to I don't know, I guess start feeding or something. I'm not sure.
Well,
If you want to give her
John-
some of your ground meat, we'll figure out a
I
way
will,
to get
and
me that.
John's place has told us that he wants us just slaying does this year because he has too many of them.
Well, there you go.
All
So
right.
But Carrie actually really loves deer meat.
I actually
I
have gotten to where I do too.
love-
Do you?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm still. I mean, I'll eat it because of my
Everything you-
son-in-law, but I'm not.
Everything that you eat at my house, if it has hamburger meat in it, it's never just hamburger meat.
Really.
I mix half hamburger meat and half deer meat.
Hmm.
Everything.
I got to the point where I don't even buy hamburger meat anymore. I mean, everything. If I'm making lasagna, it's got deer meat in it.
Oh,
If
it's
I'm
warming.
making,
It must be all this hot air right here, right?
so bad. I'm telling you, it comes on and off, on and off, on and off. It's so terrible.
But yeah, I was going to talk to you about that because Carrie's had a housekeeper that came over, and this lady unplugged everything.
She
She
unplugged
unplugged
everything.
she unplugged her toaster. She unplugged her coffee maker. She unplugged her freezer. She unplugged.
Why'd you unplug a
I-
freezer?
I don't know.
I don't know. And at
I'm
first I only noticed the
That would
freezer.
infuriate me.
Yeah, I mean, Tim is crazy about things being plugged in, but
I mean,
even he
you know,
doesn't unplug
if you
the freezer.
count all the processing and everything, these are over $1,000 worth of meat.
Oh
you
my
know.
gosh, I'd be so
And
mad.
and it wasn't until a little bit later that I noticed that she had unplugged the toaster. And I don't know what the deal is with my toaster. It's a new toaster. My parents got it for me last year for Christmas. And when it's not plugged in and you turn it, it still ticks. You know, like a kitchen timer that doesn't need power. So I had put a piece of toast in and or bagel or something, and I clicked it. I turned it, and it's going, but it's not getting hot. So I'm thinking, the damn thing is broken. Like, I just got this. How is it broken? And then I realized it's not plugged in. But if it's not plugged in, how is it ticking? And then I thought, oh, well, it's just the ticking. It's not the actual, you know, the heating element wasn't going on, or, you know, the little light on the front. So I always have to check it. But she unplugged everything. I don't know what she was
I
doing.
don't know if that would make me so mad.
But yeah, I lost all my meat.
And we have been so busy lately. And this past weekend, I was like, beat. We had such a busy weekend. Then this coming weekend is opening season. And then next weekend is Shannon and Nina's wedding.
That's right.
So we'll be going to Amarella. And
See
then,
you that weekend.
huh?
So
We'll see you that weekend. And then the next weekend is Thanksgiving. So, yeah. Thanksgiving is early this year. It's the 22nd.
Well, the next weekend is the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So-
But then
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's in the middle of the week.
Weird.
It's on the 22nd this year.
It's like a week early.
I know.
It's because Halloween is a Wednesday. The 1st of November is a Thursday, and so it's always the fourth Thursday of the month of November.
I don't like that.
So, but it's busy weekends. So I went to Canada,
Oh yeah.
and I had a great time.
She
in
left me and
Canada.
didn't even feel bad.
She doesn't feel bad when she leaves me for vacation. I left for a week. She goes on vacation for 3 weeks. Anyway, so I have a couple of videos that I'm going to insert, like probably right around here. And then I've got a ton of pictures. When we got there, Paulette didn't have any plans for me on my first day, Wednesday. So we went and had smoked meat. It's different than anything here.
Really?
It's very delicious. I love all meat though. So we had smoked meat, and then we went to her place, and then the next day we went to meet Louise from Biscotte Yarns, and I got to see her warehouse. Like I said, I have some videos. There it is, Biscotte, and we're gonna go in. Take a video. And this is the owner of Biscotte.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Louise.
Hi.
We're going to take a little tour. I'm going to walk around
Yes,
real
go
quick.
ahead. Take your time.
They have a fancy ball winder.
On va commencer par ça, puis on va voir qu'est-ce qu'on trouve. I don't want to be in your video.
Some people don't want to be on video. Look at the prestige area. Special.
Inventory, so eventually we need to move.
This is a lot of inventory. It looks great. What a big, huge shop.
Yeah.
All the way back, huh?
It's bigger in Quebec, but it's less crowded, so probablement qu'ils n'ont pas le même inventaire. Faudrait que je demande à Patrick, c'est plus lui qui suit ça.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Mais la population n'est pas la même non plus.
Ouais, c'est sûr.
Tu sais, ça va aller en proportion de toi ici. Faut... Mais ce qu'il y a en magasin, si tu ne te sers pas de ce qu'il y a en magasin pour shipper.
Non, c'est ce qu'il y a à
À
l'entrepôt.
l'entrepôt.
Ben, des fois, quand on est dans le
Look at all this.
j'ai-tu une commande de ça, j'en ai plus, peux-tu? Fait qu'on appelle dans les boutiques, on se dépend.
Look at all that yarn on that table back there. Look at the cute bags.
Yarn brands all over the place.
There's
so-
yarn everywhere.
Yeah.
All different kinds.
Yeah, we have
She will put, like,
we have
some,
Cheval
pictures.
Blanc, which is we have now the exclusivity of this brand in North America, and it's European. It's from France, and we have Cascade. We have well, a lot of brands here.
Different ones.
Yeah.
Here we go with special edition.
Quelqu'un.
Yeah.
Fait que d'après moi ici, tu vas être correct.
Look at all this.
Fait
I
que là,
could
d'après
sleep
moi,
here.
si on dit aux gens,
Oui, oui, y a pas de problème.
Parce que là, son ordi il est neuf.
Oui,
Je pense que je vais attendre dans le fond.
Mais comme il prend le petit point.
Elle se met dans le coin, assise, tranquille, personne ne la voit.
Il n'y a pas le petit point.
Ah, ben c'est pas grave.
C'est correct. On va mettre ça de même. On va mettre son café ici pour qu'il arrive un accident. Je suis sûre que c'est elle en avant. Bon, fait que ça, c'est à toi.
And certain stuff. And then we went out to eat, and I had poutine. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but it's fries, French fries with gravy and cheese curds. It is delicious.
But is it a potato or is it a banana? I mean, what is it?
It's a dish that has French fries with gravy and cheese curds.
So it's a
you had
potato
me.
French fries.
Yeah, potato French
Okay.
fries. Potato French fries,
Okay.
gravy. I don't know what kind of, like just a delicious gravy, and these cheese curds.
So you had me
So-
until cheese curds.
I don't know what a cheese curd is.
It's similar to, I don't know how to describe. It's delicious cheese. It's not curds like cottage cheese curds. It's like chunks. Like if you like took string cheese and cut it in chunks
Okay.
or something. It's hard to describe, but it
think
was
it's
very
French
delicious.
fries, chili, and cheese.
So then later, a few days later, Paulette had bought some of this cheese. Later, we went to this like milk back dairy farm, whatever, and she had picked up some of this cheese. And so she said, "Do you want me to make you some poutine?" And she was making another dish, spaghetti. She was making spaghetti, and her roommate, he wanted Italian poutine. I said, "What's Italian poutine?" So it's French fries, spaghetti sauce, and then the cheese. And
That
I was
sounds
like,
disgusting.
oh my God, it was so good.
sounds horrible.
It was so delicious.
Shaw and I were both going,
Oh, it was so good. And then I got a bowl of spaghetti, and she's like, "Do you want some Parmesan on that?" I'm like, "No, I want some of that cheese that he's eating, the poutine cheese, whatever." So it was so good. And anyways,
love French fries.
so then we had poutine, and we had a group of girls. There was Paulette and myself, Paulette's sister Doris, Jeanette, and then Louise and myself. And then after that, we went to the actual Biscotte store in St. Bruno. And she has a new shop in Quebec. Now, we did go to Quebec on Saturday, but we didn't have a chance to hit the store. We were so busy. We were walking so much and doing so many things. But had a fabulous time, and then I went to knit with all their knit group on Sunday morning, and they knit in like this little farmer's market, and then like so there's farmer's market all outside, like all these fresh vegetables and fruits and everything. It's amazing, and then you go inside and it's like a bakery. And so this one lady, Janine, I think it was Janine, she took me to go wait in line because all I wanted was a baguette with butter. Just wanted a baguette with butter. So she found this guy that was like working behind the counter or whatever, and he got this baguette of bread, and he cut it in half, and then he sliced it, and then he put it in the toaster and put this butter on it, and then he gave me this homemade jam, and it was so amazing. It was so, but I love bread. So,
That sounds amazing. But I would
Yes.
totally go with you to that farmer's market. You can knit with the food.
yeah, it was so amazing. And then from that place, I think Paulette went downstairs or something. I don't know. She left, and I stayed there knitting. And she brought home a chicken pot pie from that place. It was so good, way better than Marie Callender's. But I don't know how to cook, so Marie Callender's is delicious to me. But this was way better. So we had chicken pot pie one night, and the food was just amazing. It was all amazing there.
That's great.
And the scenery and this changing of the leaves and all the different colors, and it was just fabulous. I really,
Wow.
really, really had a great time.
I'm glad you had a good time.
And I got a little interview with Louise of her shop and a whole bunch of video around the shop and everything. And I'm actually knitting with her, my podcasting socks. This is Biscotte self-striping yarn. And then Louise has she has a test knit for a cardigan right now with some of her yarn. And this is probably
Did you
the perfect
bring it?
time for me
Yeah,
to pull it
show
out
it.
and show it.
I've been smelling the tar purple on the left on my shoulder. The entire time I've been sitting here, I couldn't figure out what it was. It's your teeth.
Shall I double spice it?
Mm-hmm.
So I got this yarn, from the shop. And I have pictures to insert like I always do. So this was the yarn. Now here is the cardigan.
Isn't that pretty?
So it's not done. But I have maybe a quarter of a sleeve or a half a sleeve done, so 1.5 sleeves to go. I think I can tighten that up a little bit. It doesn't look too bad, does it?
Mm-mm.
I don't think it'll block a little bit. So.
It looks great. I love that green. That green is so pretty.
So I love this pattern so much.
Show the
I,
back.
I ordered some yarn to make
pretty.
another one, and it's shipped. I just have to wait to get it.
Why don't you just release it? Because you said that nobody has found any errors in it.
I think she's probably waiting to get more DK in her shop because it is, you know, she probably made the pattern
Because
for
she don't
her.
have much DK.
She doesn't.
'Cause I wanted to
she's
buy
gonna,
the yarn to
she's
make
gonna
that
release
too.
the pattern, and she obviously wants her yarn to be there, which I don't blame her. You
Mhm.
know, she, you know,
Yeah.
probably started knitting up the pattern to promote this yarn, this DK pure yarn. This has 10% silk in it, and it really feels great. I love it. So
I mean, it feels better than my line
it does.
brand.
It does. Sorry, but it does. So anyway, I am about 80% done. So not too much more, according to my little thing. So I should be done with that soon, and then hopefully the yarn for the next one comes in.
That's awesome.
So I'm pretty excited
Hmm.
about that.
I feel like Kagan. I need a bigger bag. Kagan tells Bruce, Papa, I need a bigger tote bag. This one's not big enough. Can you make it a little bit longer and a little bit taller? And
Don't ever let her see the blanket
and
bag.
I know. I was thinking that same thing. And Bruce told her, said, no, Kagan. And she was like, well, I need it bigger. And he said, go to the store and buy a
You know,
tote bag.
if she watches, she's going to hear you say that.
Yeah, you should edit that out.
That one would actually be too big.
It would
It-
be
because
because that thing it
It
holds
holds
a king
it can
size blanket.
It's too big.
pretty
It's too big.
It's
pretty big.
massive, and
So-
I haven't seen it.
Tim has it.
Tim has hid the bag and the blanket from me. It's
Because she's not allowed to.
I
use
think it must be like under the bed in the RV or something because it's not in my house, and so
Oh.
he has hidden it from me forever.
Well, you know, you don't respect the blanket. You pull it from the edges.
I know. And
You let the dogs
let
lay
the
on
dogs
it.
Lay on it. and-
So speaking of Tim, he is a very knit and crochet worthy person. I mean,
He is.
he is almost too much so.
Mhm.
Because it's like, oh, I can never touch that because somebody made it for me, you know. but I mean, he's sweet and he loves the things people make. And speaking of Tim, I'm making him a black because you know I can't get enough knit in black hat for Tim, and it's just the Jared Flood Turner Square.
She loves that hat
I
pattern.
do love this hat pattern. The only thing about this hat pattern for Tim, I have to make his hip because the first one I made him, the gray one out of the sky,
Oh, yeah.
the very first one I made him, you know, I did the increases and everything, and it's too big.
Okay.
It's always been too big for him. So then when I made
He
his,
just needs to get a bigger head.
I know, right? And then when I made his fornicating deer hat, I didn't do the increases, and it fits him perfect. So I dipped on it. It fits him perfect, right? So when I made this one, I did the ribbing on size 5, and then I just switched to size 7 for the body, but I didn't do the increases.
Oh, that's perfect.
So I hope it fits. And so he asked me. He didn't ask me for a new hat, but I haven't made him one in a year, so I wanted to make him a new
And
hat.
our daughter stole his
And
frame.
Shiloh still, but it's really fine because it's too big for him. And
Mm.
Peyton has a ginormous head,
Peyton does
so
have a
so it
ginormous
fits Peyton. So, but I do have enough of that. I can make him another one just like that gray one because I have some more of that gray one. But so I'm making that for him, and then he asked me last year to make him a pair of fingerless gloves. But he wanted a pair of gloves
Gloves
with fingers.
With fingers.
But he wanted the trigger finger to not be to not so he can like pull a trigger, and so both of them don't have trigger fingers. So they're not finished because if the fingers are too long, we can pull them back,
Or too short.
or too short, we can add on to them or whatever. But so I need before they can be finished, he needs to try them on. But this is all for my world's greatest son-in-law, Tim. I love him so much.
It's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't have a big head as much as you tell him.
That's because he's awesome. And then the only other thing that I brought, I had a couple of things to mention, but the only other thing I brought is Shyla's Madeline Tosh pretty scarf, her gray scarf. I want to try to get this finished in the next few days so that she can have it. Because she has a hat, her favorite Ricky hat, the gray one, and she has a pair of gray gloves that's all out of this same yarn.
That's the nuts, right?
Yes. But Shyla don't want fingers. She likes all of them to be the
Fingers
nuts.
and lining.
And so I've got this much left, and then I have a whole nother skein. And you know, crochet takes
Needs
up
up
so
yarn.
much yarn. I actually have another skein of this at home if I need it. But I think one more. I don't even know that I'll need a whole one because she don't want it to be like a Doctor Who scarf. She just needs it to be a little bit long. So.
That, and I already have a gray one that's really long and I fold in half. And
Yeah, that's
Really
right. You
long.
remember the one that I
I
made
gave my
that
sister.
you gave your sister? It's more of a stole kind of
It
thing.
is.
I gave it to Shyla. She folds it in half, and so how much longer do you think you want it?
one more.
One more what?
One more of this length.
So twice that long.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have a scarf that I got in
That way I
our,
can tie it.
the very first year that we did our scarf swap, and that thing it's not even this long. It's probably this wide. You know which one I'm talking about? The one that I don't remember who made it for me, but I should know. But it's about this wide and it's about this long. You know which one I'm talking about? You know, I'll bring it and show you. It's my favorite scarf because it's little, and I mean you can like put it on and like tuck it down in your coat. I really like it because it's not super long and it's not super wide. But this is just a crochet pattern that I got off of Coco Bello, I think Coco Bello's YouTube channel, and then I went to her page and printed it. And it's just called. I'm not even sure it has a name. It's just a.
American terms.
Yeah.
Abbreviations
Yeah.
used in American terms.
I mean, I just got the direction. I mean, yeah, seriously, don't even think there's a name. It was on one of her her instructions on her channel. But
But it had, I think the stitch had a name, right? A girl's name?
yeah, Chloe or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. The Chloe stitch or the Clover stitch or the.
Well, it wasn't Clover. It might have been Chloe. I don't know what all this writing's about, but. So anyway, that's all I brought because these are the things that I really want to get finished so that Shyla can have, you know, for hunting, if it's really cold, she'll have her scarf and Tim will have his stuff.
Thank you.
And then y'all all know I love Madeline Tosh yarn. It's amazing.
So speaking of small and it fits,
Oh.
last time that I don't know if it's the last time we podcasted or the time before that, but Darlene had finished a virus shawl with a skein of knit circus yarn, and she gave it to Peyton because it was so small, just like 400 yards, and so small. And one of our friends, Vicky, she commented on it on our podcast and the notes on YouTube and said, I love that size and I love the colors because it was just like a gradient yarn. And you can send it to me anytime. My birthday happens to be October 2nd. So I told Vicky, I said, I would happily make you one. And Vicky's allergic to wool, so she couldn't have taken, Darlene's anyway. Because I think it was 100% wool. And so I found some yarn. I think I showed it last time. I was almost done right before I went to Canada. Well, I finished it before I went to Canada. I had some pictures to insert, and I finally got it blocked. And I sent it off to Vicky, and she loves it. So it was late for her birthday, but I finished it like the day before her birthday, I think. And then got that sent, but I'll put some pictures of that in, and it looks really great. And then I think I finished some socks. I don't know if I had started these last time. I think I had. But I have a cow coming up with these in the Haya Haya group. These are called Hua. I don't know if that means anything. Hua. And I did a test knit with them, so I would know what to expect for when I did the.
I love that yarn.
You should. I got it from you.
You did? what is it?
Nova
Thanksgiving?
did it.
Thanksgiving?
Hippo for Thanksgiving.
No wonder you like I love it.
MCN base.
I love it.
MCN base. So did that. And then I know Darlene is going to talk about her bajillion blankets that she finished, but she also got some new furniture, and she said, I really wish that I could make a blanket for my new furniture. But
Well,
I'll
no, I don't
probably-
make myself anything.
She doesn't. She doesn't make anything for herself. And she's going to be so sick and tired of making blankets by the time she got done with all 6 blankets, which she did. I told her, I said, if you get the yarn, I'll make the blanket. So I did make a blanket for Darlene. I have a picture of it on her.
And it's
It
just
looks
beautiful.
great.
It
looks
is
great.
beautiful. So,
Mhm.
but, and then the only other thing I have is, you know, I want to work on my boxy, and I want to work on that black sweater for Shiloh, because I really want
Oh,
to
yeah,
stick it.
that clove cloth.
The
Oh,
clove
the
cloth.
one with Mhm.
So, but
I think that's all I have in finished objects. I have my other rainbow.
oh, I have
shawl.
one more. Oh, I have 2 more. Go ahead.
Okay, I have my rainbow, another virus shawl, the virus shawl that I sent Vicki, which I inserted pictures of, and then I have my other rainbow shawl. I hit green.
I haven't worked on mine since August.
I barely hit green. I hit like a foot of green, but hey, I hit green. So barely. It's getting there. I still have a long ways to go, but you know, when I'm tired at the end of the day or whatever, and I don't feel like anything with major thoughts, I think I hit green like right here or something. So it's not a whole lot, but it's a little bit.
Not
It
really,
really
no.
doesn't. When you get,
It
I know
really
it kind of
don't.
looks like it might, but once there's only like 7 rows, and once you do them over and over and over again, you can easily tell where you
I
are.
figured this pattern out all by myself. So,
It's a really great
Yeah.
pattern, but I do still have quite a bit to go. So I just I'm enjoying it.
so besides my 6 blankets I made, and Carrie has pictures of them all, I made Peyton. Y'all, I know there's been a lot of people that's seen this unicorn. Shall I put this on?
Oh, I have to wear the
This
unicorn.
unicorn thing for kids. Well, adults, everybody. A lot of people have it, but I wanted to
Matches
make it.
your hair.
I wanted to make it for Peyton, so I made it for Peyton, and
You better put pictures of Peyton because she's
Yeah.
way cuter in this thing.
I sent Carrie some pictures.
I had
But
some.
it was so funny when I took it to Peyton at a volleyball game, and I gave it to her, and she pulled it out of the bag, and she said, "Oh my god!" it was the funniest thing. So then, put your sweater back on, Charlotte. So then, my other thing, all of y'all that's been watching us forever have seen this sweater. This is like the
more times than you care to.
so this is Shannon's sweater, my nephew that's 6'1" and weighs about 200 pounds and has broad shoulders. Yeah, this is his sweater.
So it's probably
So-
gonna be a touch small.
The first one that I made him was way too big, and it ended up fitting my brother perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be way too little, and it fits Shiloh pretty darn good.
I like it a lot.
And she says it's too itchy because it's lime brand yarn. But Bruce tried it on, and it fits him, and it looks really good on him.
But even when Shannon wears
So-
it, he'd have like a long sleeve shirt on underneath it
Yeah.
because it'd be cold enough.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
there's no way that will fit Shannon. No way. So
It's really pretty.
it is really pretty. I
It's
mean, I
beautiful.
think that the one thing about lime brand yarn is it really does the fisherman's wool.
It has a great stitch
It has
definition.
a beautiful stitch definition. I mean, it really it turned out pretty good.
I think I need one. Okay, but less itchy.
Darlene is never making a pattern again. She threw it away yesterday in that trash can right over there, and the housekeeping has already come by and picked up everything.
So, but I was so frustrated. I told Carrie and Shiloh and Bruce, I was like, obviously, I clearly cannot make Shannon a sweater.
Watch, you're gonna try and make me want to go fishing.
No, because if I know exactly how I made this. I made really good notes because I made the sleeves shorter and all this stuff.
That she threw
But
away in the trash.
yeah, but I just can't. I guess I just can't. I mean, it's hard when you're making something for somebody that lives 500 miles away. You can't try it on them. You can't, and I'm not doing it again. I'm not trying again. If he
It
wants a
is hard.
sweater, I'll go buy him one.
It is.
So-
It sucks.
But
I only have a couple more things to show, and then we're gonna pull out Shawna's stuff.
yes, actually, we'll
So-
switch places so that you can be right in front.
I'm good on the corner.
No, you need to be right in front. Listen.
Yvette, Celeste's mother, is having a baby. I didn't find out till this last week or the week before. So all those blankets that Darlene's been making,
So cute. It's a little mini one. That
It's a
is
mini
adorable.
it's the same yarn.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same yarn, but it's called Tiny. Burnett Baby Blankets Tiny.
Okay, Carrie, that's adorable.
That is
Isn't that
so
cute?
It's
And
a
then-
mini ripple.
Jaime's nephew's wife is pregnant and expecting, and they're expecting a girl. So I got the same colors of white and gray and then pink for the girl one. But I haven't started
love
that
it,
one.
Carrie.
Isn't
It's
it
so
cute?
cute.
It's baby size. It's not big by any means, but it has just as many stitches. It's not 6 feet wide, but it has just as many
That is
stitches.
so cute.
Just-
Casey might like one like that because he told me that the ones I make are too holy and they're not warm enough.
Okay, well then he
But
would love this.
The way to fix that is to use two of them.
I'm not making a king size one of those out of this. He just gonna have to use a quilt. There's no holes in a quilt.
Me and my brother might be a little cold natured.
No, just a little weirdos.
And he has some.
I love that. I love. I don't know what's inside that bag.
This is one of my favorite bags.
Look, I remember. I mean, I know it's my bag, but I
It
haven't
is.
seen it in a long time.
She has it. I have a lot of bags. The last thing that I'm working on is a test knit.
I know.
And I'm gonna have to put a link to the test knit group because I forgot to pack the pattern. So I
Wow,
don't
you've come a long way on
I
that.
don't have a page to show you, but it's very pretty.
It is. It's a sweater.
It's gonna be a sweater.
It's pretty. It
This is the back
Beautiful.
collar. So it's gonna start. It's just the start.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be
then this is
really
gonna
pretty.
come down and
It is.
start some underarm increases and things. But this is that work
That is
sock
gorgeous.
in that telegraph wire colorway that I got. You know, the same yarn that I made that lounging top with. That's it.
I liked being on the edge. Well,
Oh, and before Charlotte does her giveaway, we're going to open a thread for one last giveaway of our Fiber Knit. We have Fiber Knit sock blank to give away in the pink, purple, white coloring.
and I love Lisa's sock blanks.
They're
Lisa's
amazing.
sock blanks are so soft. And speaking of Lisa,
This one I think has Stellina.
y'all, but they're still super soft. Lisa and I did some kits, so y'all need to
Oh,
go to
yeah.
Lisa's shop and look. It's fibernet.com,
I'll put it in the show notes.
and we did 3 kits, and they are all. I mean, the bags are cute. I mean, they're autumnly looking bags, but the yarn that she dyed up is amazing.
It is
It
amazing.
is amazing. So Shala, this is your turn. So tell them about your shop.
Okay.
I don't. Well, Shala decided a month or so ago. So she's very crafty woodwork wise.
She's very crafty. We've
and,
shown,
and
we've
she
inserted
sews.
pictures of the ladders and the
The chunks.
chunks, the
chunks.
chests. and
So
stuff.
so she really loves doing this kind of thing, and she really doesn't want a job.
I really don't want to go back to work.
And her husband he's very supportive, and he told her, he said, if you want to try to make a go of having a shop, let's do it. And so they bought her some tools, and he has tearfully given up his garage.
I imagine that was a lot
He's
of
like,
tears.
okay, he said, my part of the garage now is from the back door to the freezer, where I can go get my hot pockets and go back in the house. So he's being very supportive, and she got her some business cards, and she's got a very eclectic mix of things in her shop, and she brought a few things. So besides woodworking, she's got sock monkeys, and she's developing this sock squirrel. That is the cutest thing.
I bet it is.
It is so cute.
I have one in the car, but I didn't want to bring it because it doesn't have arms yet, and its tail is goofy looking.
So Peyton, she made this sock monkey that was kind of weird looking, and she knew she couldn't sell it.
I
and
messed up his eyes.
it didn't have arms, and Peyton was like, "I want it. I'm gonna call him Nubs." So she has an armless sock monkey,
There you go.
And she
No,
didn't understand
and
why I
she-
wouldn't let her take it to school.
and she just loves it. But anyway, so she's got some things, and
Okay. Well,
and-
first, Mama and Carrie are awesome, and
I think they know that.
Mama is doing a giveaway with me, which Carrie is doing all of the work on because I suck at stuff like that.
yeah,
It's on Instagram, ladies
Shala,
and
she was like,
gentlemen.
"Mom, how can we do this, Mom?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Ask Carrie."
Yeah. So Carrie's doing all the technical stuff on it, but I made a sock monkey.
Isn't it cute? Look
Now,
Cute.
his little bow is
Oh
not
my
it is
gosh.
going to change. I had ribbon made especially for him that says "Respect Your Knitting"
Can you believe that, Carrie?
with
Oh, that is so
I
awesome.
know. I can't wait
yarn
to see
and
it.
knitting needles. It should be in Friday, so his bow will be changed out with that. And Peyton made her gross slime that kids seem to love so very much.
Slime is a big deal.
It is a
guys.
big
Now,
deal.
I got some slime for Antonio and Celeste and Catalea, and I forgot to take it to the party. So I have to give it to them next weekend that I see them.
But see,
But it
this
is
one's
a
not
big deal.
sticky though.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not sticky. It's more like dough.
Yeah.
And
It
I'll
is
actually
great.
let
But
Peyton
this-
play with this one on the couch.
this one
versus
is-
all of her other gross slimes.
And Peyton called it sock monkey.
Yes.
Sock monkey slime. Oh, so you're
And
putting
then-
two sock monkey slimes? in
Yes,
it?
one of each size.
Okay.
And then Mama
Look at
made
the lining of the
a
space
sock
there.
monkey bag, which I apparently got dirty. It's okay. I have a clean one too.
Look at that lining. It's sock monkey lining.
Mhm.
And so
You know.
Carrie set up an Instagram giveaway, and it's also on our Facebooks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand all of it. On Friday, whenever it ends, I'm gonna say, Carrie, tell me what to do
When
now.
it ends, I'm gonna tally them all up. I'm gonna do a random number generator, and then Shala's gonna let the winner know who they were.
And then we will ship it out.
So please check that out. It's
Yes.
really cool. And
I
then
will have a
we're-
link to it in the show notes.
Me and Mama are gonna try to do another giveaway after that at some point.
Mhm.
And okay, these are my favorite. I
These
am making
are
ladders. I'm making
fantastic.
blanket ladders and all of that stuff, but these are
Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations. It's a little Rudolph and his wife. Me and Mama set them under our Christmas trees, but they're just the cutest things.
Yeah,
ever.
They're super cute.
We each have a set, and you can put ribbons around their necks, and decorate them up.
Decorate them anyway.
And
You can even put like little tea. If you have this on your mantle, which is where mine would go, you can put like little tea lights in here.
oh yeah, you
So
could.
Like light up
Yeah.
as you're sitting on your
What-
lazy
do you
boy
know
pink
what-
chair. And
I would highly
knitting.
say to like do the battery powered ones because these are wood.
Yeah, but the
Right.
tea. I think a
The
little
tea-
tea light
yeah.
wouldn't be
That's
too
true.
shabby,
And what are
but
you
could
asking
do the
for
battery.
these, Shala?
I haven't put them on the shop yet. I was thinking I'm just gonna put them on the shop tonight for $25 a set. That's it.
Well, they are adorable. You did a beautiful job on them.
Thank you very much.
fabulous.
So
And then I have blanket ladders, and the ladders like Carrie and Mama have, and Carrie can post pictures of those, or you can see them on the shop. And my brother convinced me to do these. They are phone holders.
I'll put a
And
picture in because if I put it
They're
down
just
here, you're
little
not gonna
and tiny.
you're not gonna be able to see it like holding
And-
up on the table. But she has some pictures that I can insert here,
I mean, I have cute little decorated ones that you can't
and
see.
you can
and, like,
always custom request.
this one has Tim's name on it and our TS on it, and Peyton and her friend Peyton. But they're just cute little phone holders that you can stick in your back pocket if you wanted to.
and it's still tight.
And I
that's such a great idea.
am gonna try to find some little keychains. So I can drill holes in them and put keychains on them.
Now
Oh,
that's
that'd
a
be
good
perfect.
idea.
And so I just haven't made it to Hobby Lobby yet, but I'm gonna try to find some little keychains to put on them. That way you don't lose them.
And she's got she's got some of her ladders that she did that she has done some really cute things with. Like some of them have blankets on them, but she also has some where she has pictures sitting on them or knickknacks sitting on them. And I really think that the pictures sitting on them is such a great
I really
idea.
want to hang one long ways across the wall and use it as like a giant picture frame
I
to
think,
set pictures.
I think
Tim
that
won't
would
let me.
really.
He's like, where are you going to put it? But I just think it'd be cool to hang it long ways across the wall because then you have all the different sections and you can
Yeah,
put
I
pictures
think
on the
that's
top
a
and the
great
bottom.
idea.
I think that would
But
be a
but
great
Shyla
idea.
also takes custom orders on anything that's in her shop, or if you have an idea of thing. And what did I tell you when I was drinking the other night? I wanted you to make.
I have to make you an ottoman and
Okay,
I
but
have to
something
make you a
beside that.
sign.
What did the sign say?
I don't remember. I texted you. I was drinking too.
But she does. Oh, I wish we would have brought the recipe things.
Oh, I can
The
insert some
recipe
pictures.
cards.
Oh,
I can put some pictures in.
So,
I have to make one of those whenever I get home because I finally got the sausage recipe.
oh, good.
So,
So,
no, I've made me and Mama and stuff family recipes that were my grandmother's, and I have one of Tim's great grandmother's that I'm going to make that, you know, I printed out and antiqued and put on wood plaques to hang in the kitchen because one, who wants to dig through your recipe box every time you want to make something, and two, they're just cool, but they can be done with anything.
yeah, I mean, Carrie had a
Sayings
saying that
and-
she wanted one done.
I have to
And
make
it's a knitting
Mama.
saying.
I have to
Mhm.
make Mama one that I don't remember what it says. Something about drinking and knowing shit or something.
Yeah, something like that.
See how much they know when they're drinking? I don't remember any
I
of it.
literally texted it to Mama so I could find it in my.
I don't remember either, but it was brilliant.
I think
pretty-
I think it came out of Daddy actually.
I'm pretty sure it was brilliant. I don't remember what it was.
I don't either, but I'll
But
find it.
but anyway, if you have a saying that you want
The
to
name of the
put on
shop
there,
is TS Creation Treasures.
Yes.
Okay, TS Creation Treasures. I'll have a link in the show notes, and I've probably already put it down here a couple of times for you guys to read. So
but she'll take custom orders on anything like if you have an idea of something that you want built and it's not in the shop, just message her and y'all can work it out. And I'm really proud of her. As much crap as I give her about not wanting to do
knitting.
fiber stuff, she's really talented with tools, and she always has been. And I'm really proud of her. And I want her to see how where she can take it.
She has some amazing
The only
stuff.
thing
So-
that you will see in any of the pictures on my shop that I will not make is the Raggedy Ann doll. I've had 3 people email me asking me
Then
for
why is
them
it on your shop?
because it's in a picture on a ladder.
You should make them if people's asking you.
No. Oh my gosh.
So-
I'm thinking I'm just going to remove that picture.
Yeah, well, you should. If you don't want to make them, you need to.
Yeah,
Take it
because
off
it
your
was just a
site.
cute stuff on the picture. I mean, your hedgehogs are on there too. So
You gonna make
No,
those?
nobody's asked me about the hedgehogs. It was just stuffed animals displayed on a ladder, and it's really cute.
No, because you know,
but-
in my world, if I make one of something, it never stops at one.
And I think that we've proven that time and time again.
no, that's how the Raggedy Ann dolls worked. I made 4 of them, and I'll never make another one.
So, but thank you for coming.
Thank
and
y'all for
bringing
having
us-
me
bringing
very
your
much.
stuff, and
Driving all this way.
yeah,
Thank y'all very
an
much.
hour.
you're welcome.
All right. Well, that's
So,
what we've
so
got.
one thing that we may or may not podcast again for a while because of scheduling things.
I have a surgery coming up, so I'm going to be out for a while, and I start November 19th, and I'm not coming back to the New Year. So unless we figure
If
out,
we might can do some, work out some time to do it at your house or something.
Yeah,
But if
we might be
not,
able
then
to.
we won't be back until after the
But
holidays.
we still have all the giveaway for the cow. So get anything crocheted and knit in there, and I'll still do the drawings. It ends November 30th. So even if I have to do just like a little video by myself at home or something, if Darlene can't join me, I can do the drawing and put it up and draw some winners for the needle set and for the Panda Clicks. So we still have that all going. So be sure you get your stuff in by November 30th.
So, okay. Thank you. I know it was a long one today, but thank y'all for
was.
tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.